In today's fast-paced world, everything seems to demand immediate reactions. Notifications pop up, emotions flare, and stress rushes in like a flood. It's easy to get swept away in the chaos, reacting impulsively to whatever life throws at us. But what if the true mark of strength isn't how fast you respond, but how calmly you do it? Calmness is often mistaken for weakness, passivity, or indifference. Yet history's greatest warriors, philosophers, and leaders show us a different truth. Calmness is power. It is the ability to pause amidst turmoil, to observe before acting, and to choose your response rather than be controlled by raw emotion. This kind of mental mastery isn't natural. It is cultivated. It is a skill built through intentional practice, discipline, and self-awareness. The Stoics believed that our power lies in the space between stimulus and response, where we can reclaim control. Zen masters have spent lifetimes perfecting this stillness, turning it into an unshakable strength. Modern neuroscience confirms what they have long known. A calm mind enables better decisions, sharper focus, and greater resilience. When you train your mind to respond instead of react, you break free from the chains of emotional reactivity. You transform stress from an overwhelming enemy into useful information. You learn to regulate your nervous system, activating the part of the brain responsible for logic and reason, rather than surrendering to the impulsive fight-or-flight center. This video will explore practical techniques rooted in Stoic philosophy and modern science to help you develop this power within yourself. You will discover how to breathe through tension, create space before reacting, and build mental habits that make calmness your default state. Because real power is not in the force of your reaction, but in the clarity of your response. Master this, and you master yourself. 1. Introduction to the power of calmness. Calmness is a profound form of strength that many underestimate in today's fast-paced world. While chaos and noise constantly surround us, the ability to remain composed under pressure separates those who lead and succeed from those who falter and give in to stress. Being calm does not mean being passive or weak. It means mastering your mind and emotions to respond deliberately rather than react impulsively. Throughout history, great leaders, warriors, and thinkers have demonstrated that true power comes from inner peace and clarity. A calm mind enables better decision-making, clear thinking, and resilience in the face of adversity. It transforms stress from a paralyzing force into a tool for growth and focus. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient wisdom has long known. Cultivating calmness rewires the brain, strengthening the areas responsible for emotional regulation, focus, and rational thought. When you train yourself to cultivate calm, you develop the capacity to navigate challenges with grace and poise, no matter how intense the pressure. In this video, we will explore how calmness is not just a feeling, but a skill that can be developed through practice, mindfulness, and self-awareness. You will learn why the ability to pause before responding is a game changer, how breathing and mindset shifts can regulate your nervous system, and why calmness ultimately leads to greater mental power and control over your life. Calmness is more than just peace of mind. It is a powerful resource that helps you lead, perform, and thrive. It is the foundation of true strength, a strength that endures and elevates you above the chaos of the world. 2. The scientific and biological basis of calmness. Calmness is not just a psychological state. It is deeply rooted in our biology and neuroscience. Understanding how the body and brain produce calm can empower us to cultivate it, intentionally transforming our reactions to stress and challenges. At the heart of this process is the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary body functions such as heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. It has two main branches: the sympathetic nervous system, which activates the fight-or-flight response to danger, and the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest and digest, promoting relaxation and recovery. When we experience stress or fear, the sympathetic nervous system triggers a rapid release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These causes increased heart rate, rapid breathing, muscle tension, and heightened alertness, preparing us to react quickly to threats. Why this response is vital for survival: prolonged activation leads to anxiety, exhaustion, and impaired decision-making. The key to calmness lies in activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows heart rate, relaxes muscles, and stabilizes breathing. Techniques like deep breathing meditation and mindfulness stimulate this system, helping to regulate our emotional responses and bring the mind into a state of clarity. Brain regions also play a crucial role. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, detects threats and triggers immediate emotional responses. However, when we practice calmness, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought planning and self-control, exerts greater influence, allowing us to pause, assess, and respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. Modern neuroscience research confirms that these systems are plastic. With practice, we can strengthen the pathways that support calmness and weaken those that feed stress and reactivity. This rewiring makes calmness not just a passive state, but an active skill cultivated over time. In this video, we will explore how understanding the science behind calmness can provide practical tools to manage stress, enhance focus, and build emotional resilience. By learning how our biology works, we take the first step toward mastering the power of calm in any situation. 3. The benefits of calmness. Calmness is more than just a peaceful feeling. It is a powerful state that brings numerous benefits to both the mind and body. Cultivating calmness transforms how we navigate life's challenges and enhances overall well-being. One of the primary benefits of calmness is improved decision-making. When calm, the brain operates more clearly, allowing us to process information objectively and make thoughtful choices. In contrast, when overwhelmed by stress or emotional turmoil, decisions become impulsive or clouded by fear and anxiety. Calmness also significantly enhances focus and concentration. It quiets the mental noise that distracts us, enabling us to stay present and attentive to the task at hand. This improved focus leads to higher productivity, creativity, and better problem-solving abilities. Physiologically, calmness reduces stress hormone levels, lowering blood pressure and heart rate. This not only promotes physical health, but also improves sleep quality and boosts the immune system. Chronic stress is linked to many health problems, so learning to cultivate calm is an essential tool for longevity and vitality. Emotionally, calmness increases resilience. It allows us to respond to difficulties with balance rather than reactivity, preventing burnout and emotional exhaustion. Calm individuals recover faster from setbacks and maintain a more positive outlook even in adversity. Socially, calmness improves relationships. When we are calm, we communicate more effectively, listen more attentively, and respond with empathy rather than defensiveness. This builds trust and deepens connections with others. In the workplace, calm leaders inspire confidence and create stable environments. Calmness under pressure is a hallmark of effective leadership, enabling clear thinking and decisive action. Furthermore, Calmness fosters self-awareness. It creates the mental space needed to observe thoughts and emotions without judgment, encouraging personal growth and emotional intelligence. Overall, cultivating calmness is a foundational practice for mental strength, emotional balance, and physical health. It equips us to handle life's uncertainties with grace and clarity, turning chaos into opportunity. 4. Ancient philosophy and lessons from cultures. Throughout history, many ancient philosophies and cultures have recognized the profound power of calmness and mental control. These traditions offer timeless wisdom that continues to guide us in mastering the mind today. The Stoics, ancient Greek and Roman philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized the importance of self-discipline and emotional regulation. They taught that external events do not disturb us. Rather, it is our judgment and reaction to those events that cause turmoil. By cultivating an inner calm, they believed one could remain unshaken regardless of life's challenges. In Japan, the samurai warriors practiced fushun, meaning the immovable mind. This state was about maintaining composure and clarity, even in the face of danger and chaos. Through rigorous training, they learned to detach from fear and act with precision and calm confidence. Buddhist traditions teach mindfulness and stillness as paths to peace. Meditation practices encourage observing thoughts and emotions without attachment, fostering a serene mind that remains steady amid life's uncertainties. This calm awareness leads to insight and freedom from suffering. The Taoist philosophy of the Nazi compares calmness to water, soft yet powerful, adaptable yet persistent. Water flows around obstacles without resistance, shaping and transforming its environment gently but effectively. Embracing this way of flow, Taoism teaches, leads to harmony and resilience. These diverse cultures converge on a central truth: calmness is not passivity, but active mastery. It is a choice to remain centered, to see clearly, and to act wisely rather than impulsively. They show that training the mind to be calm is a universal key to strength, resilience, and lasting peace. Modern science echoes this ancient wisdom. Neuroscience confirms that practices fostering calm, like meditation and controlled breathing, restructure the brain to improve emotional regulation and cognitive function. The lessons from the past remain relevant and potent in our modern lives. By learning from these rich traditions, we gain practical tools and inspiration to cultivate calm in ourselves. Whether through philosophical reflection, martial discipline, or meditative stillness, the journey to mastering calmness is a timeless endeavor shared across cultures and centuries. 5. Recognizing and managing stress. Stress is an inevitable part of life. Everyone encounters challenges, pressures, and unexpected difficulties that can trigger stress responses. But recognizing stress early and managing it effectively is what separates those who maintain calmness and control from those overwhelmed by anxiety and reaction. Stress begins as a natural biological response designed to protect us. The nervous system activates fight-or-flight mode, releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to prepare the body to face threats. This reaction can sharpen focus and energy in the short term, but chronic stress or unregulated responses can be damaging to both mind and body. The first step to managing stress is awareness. Pay attention to your body's signals: rapid heartbeat, shallow breathing, muscle tension, irritability, or difficulty concentrating. Mental signs include racing thoughts, overwhelm, or persistent worry. By noticing these signs early, you can intervene before stress escalates. Effective stress management involves both physical and mental strategies. Controlled breathing exercises help regulate the nervous system and calm the mind. Mindfulness and meditation train attention to remain present, reducing anxiety about past or future events. Physical activity releases tension and stimulates endorphin production, improving mood and resilience. Equally important is cognitive reframing, changing how you interpret stressful situations. Instead of seeing stresses as threats, view them as challenges or opportunities to grow. This shift in perspective reduces the emotional impact and increases your sense of control. Setting healthy boundaries is another vital tool. Learn to say no when overwhelmed and prioritize tasks that align with your goals. Adequate rest, sleep, and nutrition also play essential roles in maintaining your ability to cope with stress. Finally, seek social support. Talking with trusted friends, family, or professionals can provide perspective advice and emotional relief. Remember, managing stress is not about eliminating it, but mastering your response to it. By recognizing stress early and applying these techniques consistently, you build resilience and create space for calmness to thrive. Stress is not the enemy. Unmanaged stress is. With practice and intention, you can transform stress into fuel for growth and strength. 6. Techniques to practice. Calmness. Calmness is not merely a passive state, but an active skill that can be developed with consistent practice. Various techniques, both ancient and modern, empower individuals to cultivate a calm mind and steady emotions, even amid chaos. One of the most effective methods is controlled breathing. Simple yet powerful breath control regulates the nervous system by activating the parasympathetic response, which promotes relaxation. Techniques such as box breathing, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding again for 4 help slow down the heart rate and calm the mind rapidly. Mindfulness meditation is another widely practiced tool. It trains the mind to observe thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating distance from automatic emotional reactions. Regular meditation fosters awareness of the present moment, reduces stress, and improves emotional regulation. Physical exercise also plays a vital role in maintaining calmness. Activities like yoga or Tai Chi combine movement with breath and mindfulness, enhancing body awareness and reducing anxiety. Even simple walking or stretching can help release built-up tension and center the mind. Visualization techniques are powerful mental exercises to build calmness. By imagining a peaceful scene or mentally rehearsing a challenging situation while maintaining composure, individuals prepare their mind and body to respond calmly in real life. Journaling can also serve as a reflective practice to identify stress triggers and emotional patterns. Writing down thoughts helps externalize worries and promotes cognitive restructuring, supporting emotional clarity. Lastly, cultivating a routine of small moments of stillness throughout the day, brief pauses to breathe deeply, to center oneself, or to step away from stimulation builds resilience and strengthens the habit of calmness. Together, these techniques form a toolkit for mastering calm. While each person may find some methods more effective than others, integrating several approaches creates a robust foundation for mental clarity and emotional balance. Calmness is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong practice of returning to stillness amid life's storms. 7. The importance of the space between stimulus and response. One of the most powerful concepts in mastering calmness and emotional control is recognizing the space between a stimulus and our response to it. This space, a brief moment of pause, is where true power lies. It is the gap that allows us to choose how we react, rather than being driven by impulsive emotion or habitual reflex. When we encounter a trigger, whether it's stress, anger, fear, or frustration, the natural tendency of the untrained mind is to react immediately. This automatic response is often controlled by the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, which prioritizes quick survival-based reactions. However, this impulsiveness typically leads to regret, conflict, or decisions made in haste. The ability to create even a small delay between what happens to us and how we respond gives us control over our actions. It activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking, self-awareness, and decision-making. In this brief pause, we gain clarity, perspective, and choice. This concept is central to many philosophical and psychological teachings. Viktor Frankl famously said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This moment is a gateway to resilient self-mastery and emotional intelligence." Practicing this pause is not easy. It requires mindfulness and training to catch the initial emotional surge before it propels us into reaction. Techniques such as deep breathing, counting to 10, or mentally stepping back from the situation help expand this space. Cultivating this gap allows us to respond thoughtfully, align actions with our values, and avoid destructive habits. It transforms us from reactive beings into intentional creators of our experience. Ultimately, mastering the space between stimulus and response is a cornerstone of calmness, self-control, and true mental strength. It is the moment where freedom is born, the freedom to act with wisdom instead of impulse, with clarity instead of chaos. 8. Cognitive reframing. Turning challenges into opportunities. One of the most powerful tools for developing mental resilience is cognitive reframing, the ability to change how we interpret difficult situations. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers or failures, reframing teaches us to view them as opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. When faced with adversity, the natural tendency of the mind is to focus on the negative. "This is too hard," "I can't do this," or "Why is this happening to me?" Such thinking traps us in a cycle of stress and helplessness, magnifying fear and doubt. Reframing breaks this cycle by shifting the narrative. It encourages asking different questions. What can I learn from this? How can this challenge make me stronger? What opportunities does this difficulty reveal? By consciously changing our interpretation, we activate new pathways in the brain that promote problem-solving, creativity, and resilience. This approach is deeply rooted in ancient wisdom and modern psychology alike. Stoic philosophers believe that suffering is often not caused by external events, but by how we judge them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that obstacles themselves can become the path to progress if we choose to see them that way. Modern cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, utilizes reframing to help people break free from destructive thought patterns. Research shows that those who practice cognitive reframing handle stress better, recover from setbacks faster, and maintain a more optimistic outlook. Reframing doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty or pretending problems don't exist. It means acknowledging reality fully, but deciding on a mindset that empowers rather than diminishes us. It's about taking control of our story rather than being controlled by circumstance. To cultivate reframing practice, 3 steps. First, recognize when you are stuck in negative thinking. Second, deliberately ask yourself what alternative interpretations could exist. Third, decide the perspective that serves your growth and well-being. By consistently applying cognitive reframing, we transform adversity into a catalyst for development. Challenges become lessons, failures become feedback, and setbacks become stepping stones. Ultimately, reframing is a key skill in mastering mental strength. It empowers us to turn life's difficulties into opportunities, and through this transformation, we build resilience, confidence, and true inner power. 9. Managing emotions, focusing on observation. Instead of reaction, emotions are powerful forces that influence every aspect of our lives. They can inspire creativity, strengthen relationships, and motivate action. Yet they can also cloud judgment, provoke impulsive decisions, and create unnecessary suffering. The key to mental strength lies not in suppressing emotions, but in managing them effectively. And this begins with learning to observe rather than immediately react. When we react impulsively, we let our emotions take control, often leading to regret or harm. However, by cultivating the habit of mindful observation, we create a space between stimulus and response, a pause that allows reason and choice to guide our actions. This practice of observing emotions without immediate judgment is at the heart of many ancient philosophies and modern psychological techniques. The Stoics called it apartheid, a state of being undisturbed by passions where the mind remains steady. Buddhist mindfulness teaches similar principles to witness emotions as passing experiences, not permanent states or commands. Neurologically, when faced with emotional triggers, the amygdala triggers a rapid automatic response. But through mindfulness and training, the prefrontal cortex, brain's center for rational thought, can intervene, allowing us to regulate emotional responses and choose constructive reactions. Managing emotions through observation means recognizing feelings as significant signals, not dictators of behavior. It means naming emotions. This is anger. This is fear. Acknowledging them and letting them pass without being overwhelmed. By shifting focus from reaction to observation, we gain greater emotional clarity and control. This enables better decision-making, reduces stress, and strengthens resilience. Developing this skill involves 3 practical steps. First, practice labeling your emotions as they arise to create distance. Second, slow down your breath to ground yourself in the present moment. Third, remind yourself that emotions are temporary and do not define you. Over time, this mindful approach transforms how we relate to our inner world. Instead of being swept away by emotional storms, we become calm observers, choosing responses aligned with our values and goals. Managing emotions is not about avoiding feelings, but mastering them. The power lies in observation, not reaction. 10. Understanding and managing emotional triggers. Emotional triggers are specific events, words, or situations that provoke an intense emotional reaction, disproportionate to the current moment. They are deeply rooted in experiences, unresolved pain, or long-held beliefs. Recognizing and managing these triggers is essential for maintaining emotional balance and mental strength. Most people are unaware of how much their reactions are influenced by these triggers. A simple criticism, a raised voice, or a perceived slight can ignite anger, anxiety, or sadness far beyond what the situation objectively warrants. This happens because the brain does not always differentiate between present events and past wounds. When a trigger is activated, it can send the mind into automatic patterns of defense or distress. Understanding triggers begins with awareness. This means observing your emotional responses and identifying what consistently sets you off. Pay attention to patterns. Do certain topics, people, or settings provoke stronger reactions? What memories or beliefs do these triggers connect to? Once identified, managing triggers involves consciously breaking the automatic cycle. Instead of reacting immediately, pause and ask yourself, why is this affecting me so deeply? Is this reaction about the present or something from my past? This questioning creates space for reflection and choice. Techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, journaling, or therapy can help process underlying issues connected to triggers. Over time, what once caused intense emotional upheaval can become manageable or even neutral. Reframing is another powerful tool. Instead of viewing a trigger as a threat, see it as an opportunity to grow emotionally. Every time you successfully navigate a trigger without losing control, you strengthen your resilience and gain mastery over your mind. Managing emotional triggers does not mean avoiding difficult feelings. It means facing them with courage, understanding, and self-compassion. It is a process of reclaiming power over your responses and breaking free from unconscious reactions. By understanding and managing your emotional triggers, you move from being controlled by past wounds to living with greater freedom and presence. This ability is a cornerstone of mental strength and emotional intelligence. 11. Building mental resilience. Mental resilience is the ability to withstand, recover, and grow stronger from adversity, stress, or hardship. It is not about avoiding difficulties, but learning how to navigate through challenges with strength and adaptability. Building resilience empowers you to face life's uncertainties with confidence rather than fear. Resilience begins with a mindset. Those who see obstacles as temporary and surmountable are more likely to persevere. It involves cultivating a positive outlook where setbacks are perceived as opportunities to learn and improve, not as insurmountable failures. One key aspect of resilience is emotional regulation. Resilient individuals manage their feelings effectively, acknowledging pain or disappointment without becoming overwhelmed. They use coping strategies such as mindfulness, deep breathing, or cognitive reframing to maintain balance. Another vital component is a strong sense of purpose. Having clear goals and values provides direction during turbulent times. When your actions align with your purpose, it becomes easier to endure difficulties because you understand that challenges are part of a meaningful journey. Support systems also play an essential role. Connecting with others, whether friends, family, or mentors, provides emotional nourishment and practical help. Resilient people know when to seek support and how to give it in return, building a community of strength. Building resilience is an ongoing process that requires intentional practice. This includes setting realistic expectations, celebrating small victories, and learning from failures without self-judgment. It means embracing discomfort as a teacher rather than an enemy. The great leaders and thinkers throughout history exemplified resilience. Nelson Mandela's decades of imprisonment strengthened his resolve and commitment to justice. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust, found meaning in suffering, transforming pain into purpose. Modern research supports these lessons. Studies show that people who develop resilience have better mental health, greater life satisfaction, and improved performance under pressure. The brain, much like muscles, can be trained to become more resilient through experience and deliberate effort. Ultimately, building mental resilience is about developing an unshakable inner foundation that enables you to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and continue growing despite life's inevitable hardships. It is a cornerstone of lasting mental strength and well-being. 12. Handling conflict with calmness and composure. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction. Whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or society, at large disagreements and tensions arise. How we handle these conflicts can define the quality of our connections and our mental well-being. Approaching conflict with calmness and composure is a powerful skill that prevents escalation and fosters understanding. Remaining calm during conflict allows you to think clearly rather than react impulsively. When emotions run high, the instinct is often to defend, attack, or withdraw. However, these reactions usually worsen the situation. A composed mindset creates space for reflection, enabling you to listen actively, empathize, and respond thoughtfully. Calmness does not mean passivity or avoidance. It means mastering your emotions so they do not control your actions. By regulating your breath, slowing down your thoughts, and maintaining steady body language, you signal openness and control. This encourages others to mirror your calm and approach the situation more rationally. Effective conflict resolution also involves communication skills. Asking open-ended questions, paraphrasing what the other person says, and expressing your feelings without blame help reduce defensiveness. It shifts the focus from winning to problem-solving, building cooperation rather than division. Ancient philosophers and leaders demonstrated these principles. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, counseled responding to anger with patience and reason. Samurai warriors trained to maintain inner calm even in battle, knowing that composure leads to better decisions. Modern psychology supports these ideas, showing that emotional regulation during conflict improves outcomes and reduces stress. To cultivate calm conflict management practice, 3 key strategies. First, pause before responding. Taking a deep breath breaks the cycle of impulsivity. Second, focus on understanding rather than reacting. Ask yourself, what is this person saying? Third, maintain respect and assertiveness without aggression. Standing your ground with kindness diffuses tension. Mastering calm conflict handling not only preserves relationships, but also strengthens your mental resilience. It transforms challenges into opportunities for growth, empathy, and deeper connection. In a world full of misunderstandings and rapid reactions, calmness is not just a virtue, it is a strategic advantage. 13. Letting go of control and accepting reality. One of the greatest sources of stress and suffering in life comes from the illusion of control. We often believe that by managing every detail and forcing outcomes, we can shape the world to our liking. However, reality is unpredictable, full of variables beyond our influence. The wisdom of letting go of control and embracing acceptance is a key principle for mental peace and resilience. Letting go does not mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing the limits of what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and releasing attachment to external events, other people's decisions or outcomes. This distinction frees the mind from unnecessary anxiety and frustration. Acceptance is not resignation. It is the courage to face reality as it is without illusion or denial. It allows us to conserve energy and focus on what truly matters, our response to life's challenges. When we accept what cannot be changed, we open the door to inner calm and clarity. Philosophers like Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our power, others are not. Focusing only on what we can influence brings peace and effectiveness. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that the external world is beyond his command, but his reactions are his responsibility. Modern psychology supports this approach. Studies show that acceptance reduces stress and improves emotional well-being. Cognitive behavioral therapy often uses acceptance strategies to help people cope with difficult situations by changing their relationship to what is happening rather than trying to change the uncontrollable. Letting go also fosters adaptability. The more we cling to fixed expectations or desires, the more we suffer when life unfolds differently. Acceptance teaches flexibility, resilience, and the ability to find meaning regardless of circumstances. To practice letting go and acceptance, start by identifying what is truly within your control and what is not. When faced with frustration or anxiety, ask yourself, am I trying to control something beyond my power? Shift your focus to your actions and mindset. Practice mindfulness to observe thoughts and feelings without judgment. Remind yourself daily that peace comes from releasing the illusion of control. True freedom lies in acceptance. It is the power to live fully in the present, unburdened by the weight of resisting reality. Those who master this art discover profound peace, clarity, and strength to face whatever life brings. 14. Cultivating calmness as a way of life. Calmness is not a trait that some people are simply born with. It is a skill that anyone can develop through consistent practice. Like any habit, cultivating calm requires intentional effort, repetition, and patience. When calmness becomes a natural part of your daily routine, it transforms how you experience life, enabling you to face challenges with clarity and composure. Training calmness starts with small, deliberate habits that build mental resilience over time. Daily practices, such as mindfulness meditation, controlled breathing, or simply taking moments of stillness, can rewire the brain to respond less impulsively to stress. These habits train your nervous system to shift from a reactive state to a more balanced one, reducing anxiety and improving focus. The power of habit lies in its ability to automate behavior. Once calmness becomes your default, you no longer need to consciously force yourself to stay composed in difficult moments. Instead, your mind naturally pauses, assesses the situation, and chooses a measured response. This automatic calmness is what differentiates those who crumble under pressure from those who thrive. Many ancient cultures emphasized daily disciplines to cultivate mental stillness. The Stoics practiced premeditation, malorum, visualizing potential hardships in advance to prepare the mind. Samurai warriors integrated breath control and meditation into their training, ensuring they remained centered amid chaos. Buddhist monks have long taught mindfulness as a way to build deep mental calm and presence. Modern neuroscience confirms the benefits of these practices. Studies show that regular meditation thickens brain regions associated with attention and emotional regulation, making calmness easier to access. The nervous system becomes more flexible, able to recover quickly from stress. To integrate calmness into your daily life, start with 3 simple steps. First, create moments of intentional stillness, even a few minutes each day, to pause and breathe deeply. Second, build a calming ritual around transitions like before meetings or difficult conversations. Third, practice mindful awareness throughout your day. Notice when tension rises and gently bring your focus back to the present. Cultivating calm is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong commitment. Each small moment of stillness strengthens your mental muscles and builds a foundation of resilience. Over time, you will find yourself naturally embodying the clarity, steadiness, and control that come from a calm mind. This is true power, calmness as a way of life. 15. The impact of calmness on your environment and those around you. Calmness is not just a personal state, it radiates outward, influencing the people and environments around us. The presence of a calm individual can transform tension into tranquility, conflict into cooperation, and chaos into clarity. This ripple effect demonstrates that calmness is a powerful force that extends far beyond the individual. Studies in emotional contagion show that humans naturally mirror the emotions of those they interact with. When you carry a sense of calm, it can regulate the nervous systems of others, helping to lower stress and anxiety in social settings. This is why leaders who maintain composure during crises inspire confidence and stability among their teams. Moreover, calmness fosters better communication. When people feel safe and unhurried, they are more open, empathetic, and willing to listen. This creates an environment where collaboration flourishes and conflicts are resolved with mutual understanding rather than escalation. In families, calmness nurtures trust and emotional safety. Parents who model calm behavior teach children how to manage emotions and navigate challenges. In workplaces, a calm demeanor helps diffuse workplace stress, improving morale and productivity. However, the impact of calmness is not just social shapes, your physical environment. A calm presence can lower noise levels, reduce frantic activity, and encourage mindfulness in daily interactions. Spaces inhabited by calm people tend to feel more peaceful and welcoming. Cultivating calmness is therefore not only a personal benefit, but a social responsibility. By training yourself to stay steady, you contribute to healthier, more resilient communities. Your calm energy becomes a beacon that others can draw strength from, especially in moments of uncertainty or crisis. The greatest leaders and thinkers throughout history understood this power. Figures like Mahatma Gandhi and the Stoics recognized that inner calm was a form of resistance and leadership. They knew that to influence the world, one must first master oneself. To extend calmness into your environment, practice these steps. First, become aware of the energy you bring into any space. Before entering a room or conversation, pause and center yourself. Second, actively model calm through your tone, body language, and actions. Third, encourage calmness in others by creating safe spaces for expression and listening. Remember, calmness is contagious. When you choose to embody it, you create a ripple of peace that can change the atmosphere and uplift those around you. In a fast-paced, stressful world, your calmness can be a sanctuary for yourself and a gift to others. 16. The meaning of patience and waiting. Patience is often misunderstood as passivity or weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. It is the ability to remain steady and composed in the face of uncertainty, delays, and challenges. Patience allows us to endure discomfort and resist the urge for immediate gratification, understanding that meaningful growth and success take time. In a fast-paced world obsessed with instant results, patience is a rare and undervalued virtue. People rush decisions, seek quick fixes, and abandon efforts when progress is slow or invisible. But those who master patience know that lasting achievement is built on persistence and steady effort, not hasty bursts of energy. Scientific studies such as the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment highlight the power of delayed gratification. Children who were able to wait for a larger reward later showed greater success and emotional stability in adulthood. This demonstrates that patience is not only a moral virtue, but also a psychological skill linked to better life outcomes. Patience fosters resilience because it teaches us to accept setbacks without giving up. It encourages a long-term perspective that views obstacles as part of the journey rather than insurmountable barriers. When you practice patience, you develop the endurance necessary to see projects through, relationships deepen, and personal transformation unfolds. Ancient philosophers and leaders valued patience as essential to wisdom and leadership. Nietzsche taught that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished in its own time. The Stoics believed that trusting the process of life and embracing what cannot be rushed leads to inner peace. To cultivate patience, start by learning to sit with discomfort without immediate reaction. Practice seeing the bigger picture and reminding yourself that progress often happens beneath the surface. Develop rituals that reinforce patience, such as mindfulness and reflection. Remember, patience is an active power, not passive waiting. It is the strength to endure, to persevere, and to trust that with time your efforts will bear fruit. By embracing patience, you align yourself with the natural rhythms of life and open the door to deeper fulfillment and success. 17. Living fully with presence. In today's fast-paced world, true presence has become a rare and valuable skill. Many people live distracted lives, physically present, but mentally elsewhere, caught in thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Presence means fully inhabiting the here and now, engaging deeply with whatever you are doing, whether it is work relationships or simply being with yourself. Living with presence sharpens your awareness. Instead of reacting impulsively, you observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This conscious engagement allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than be swept away by distraction or emotional turbulence. Neuroscience shows that practicing presence lowers stress, improves focus, and enhances emotional resilience. Presence transforms everyday experiences into meaningful moments. A simple conversation becomes richer, a walk in nature more calming, and even routine tasks become opportunities for mindfulness. It cultivates gratitude, joy, and a deeper connection to life's flow. Ancient philosophies have long taught the importance of presence. The Stoics reminded us to confine ourselves to the present, knowing that the past is gone and the future uncertain. Zen masters cultivated mindfulness through breath movement and meditation. Great leaders understood that the ability to be fully present in critical moments could mean the difference between success and failure. To develop presence, start with small, consistent practices. Focus on one task at a time rather than multitasking. Notice when your mind drifts and gently bring it back. Create rituals such as mindful breathing or short pauses throughout your day to anchor yourself in the now. Living fully with presence is not about escaping life's challenges, but facing them with clarity and calm. It allows you to break free from autopilot, reduce anxiety, and live a life of intention and depth. Presence is a gateway to deeper insight, better decisions, and richer relationships. By training your mind to stay rooted in the moment, you gain control over your attention and emotions. Presence is not just a practice. It is a way of being that empowers you to live authentically and fully, no matter what life brings. 18. The value of stillness and mental space. In our noisy, fast-paced world, stillness and mental space have become rare treasures. Most people live in constant stimulation, their minds overcrowded with thoughts, distractions, and endless input. Yet true clarity and insight arise not from constant activity, but from moments of quiet and emptiness within. Stillness is not the absence of thought, but the presence of awareness. It is a conscious pause, a space where the mind can settle, where creativity and deep understanding emerge. Neuroscience shows that during periods of mental rest, the brain engages in processes vital for memory consolidation, problem solving, and emotional regulation. Mental space allows us to step back from the chaos of life, giving perspective and reducing overwhelm. It is in these silent intervals that we process emotions, integrate experiences, and reconnect with our inner selves. Without this space, thoughts pile up, stress accumulates, and the mind becomes reactive and fragmented. Many ancient traditions understood the power of stillness. The Stoics practiced mental withdrawal to calm the mind. Zen Buddhism elevates silence and emptiness as pathways to enlightenment. Even modern psychology emphasizes the benefits of mindfulness and meditation in cultivating mental calm and resilience. To cultivate stillness, start by creating small pockets of quiet in your daily routine. This could be a few minutes of meditation, a silent walk in nature, or simply sitting without distraction. Notice how these moments refresh your mind and deepen your awareness. Embracing mental space helps in decision-making by allowing time to reflect rather than rush into action. It fosters creativity by providing room for new ideas to arise. It also supports emotional health by giving feelings room to be observed and understood without being overwhelmed. Stillness and mental space are not luxuries but necessities for mental strength. They help you reclaim control over your mind, reduce anxiety, and cultivate the inner calm that is the foundation for wise, purposeful action. The greatest thinkers and leaders throughout history have recognized that silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a wellspring of power and clarity. In a world full of noise, cultivating stillness becomes a radical act of self-care and mastery. 19. Acceptance of reality and cultivating inner peace. Acceptance is often misunderstood as resignation or passivity. But in truth, it is a profound form of strength. To accept reality means to see things as they are without denial resistance or wishing them to be different. This clarity allows the mind to stop fighting futile battles against circumstances beyond its control and instead focus energy on what can be influenced. True acceptance is not about giving up or losing hope. It is about embracing the present moment fully and finding peace within it. The struggle against reality creates suffering, but when you stop resisting and begin to accept, suffering diminishes. This is the cornerstone of many ancient philosophies from Stoicism to Buddhism, which teach that freedom comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering one's internal response. Modern psychology supports this view. Research on radical acceptance shows that people who accept their thoughts, feelings, and situations without judgment experience less anxiety and depression and greater emotional resilience. Acceptance helps regulate the nervous system, reducing the fight-or-flight response and promoting calm. To cultivate acceptance, start by recognizing what is outside your control. Practice distinguishing between what you can change and what you must let go. This mental shift allows you to conserve energy and reduce frustration. Next, develop mindfulness to observe your thoughts and emotions without trying to suppress or change them. Instead of reacting, learn to witness them with compassion and curiosity. Inner peace grows from this foundation of acceptance. When you stop battling reality, you free yourself from the turmoil of unmet expectations and fears. Peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of equanimity, a steady mind that remains undisturbed amidst life's storms. The wisdom of ancient masters like Epictetus, who famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," reminds us that our power lies in our choices. Marcus Aurelius taught daily reflection and acceptance as keys to a tranquil mind. Practicing acceptance does not mean passivity. It empowers wise action. When grounded in acceptance, decisions are clearer, emotions are balanced, and resilience is strengthened. You become able to face challenges with grace rather than resistance. In a chaotic world, cultivating acceptance and inner peace is a radical act of self-mastery. It allows you to navigate life with calm confidence, embracing what is while still pursuing what can be changed. This balance is the foundation of lasting mental strength. 20. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is often overlooked as a simple, soft virtue, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful mental tools we can cultivate. It shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in our lives. This change in perspective can profoundly impact our mental health, emotional resilience, and overall well-being. At its core, gratitude trains the mind to recognize the positive aspects of life even amidst hardship. Instead of dwelling on difficulties or unmet expectations, those who practice gratitude learn to appreciate small blessings, whether it's the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, or the support of loved ones. This habit rewires the brain to seek abundance rather than scarcity. Science backs this up. Neuroscientific research shows that regularly practicing gratitude activates brain regions linked to reward and social bonding. People who keep gratitude journals or engage in daily gratitude practices experience lower stress, improved mood, and stronger relationships. Gratitude not only reduces negative emotions, but also strengthens positive ones like joy, optimism, and hope. Historically, many great thinkers and philosophers have emphasized the importance of gratitude. The Stoics, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, often reflected on the simple gifts of life as a foundation for contentment. Buddhist teachings also highlight gratitude as a key to reducing suffering and cultivating peace. To harness the power of gratitude, begin by consciously acknowledging 3 things you are grateful for each day. These can be big or small, anything that brings meaning or joy. Next, practice expressing gratitude openly, whether by thanking others or simply savoring moments of appreciation internally. Finally, integrate gratitude into challenges by seeking the lessons and growth opportunities hidden within difficulties. Gratitude transforms how we experience life. It turns ordinary moments into celebrations and setbacks into lessons. Most importantly, it cultivates a resilient mindset that can endure adversity with grace and hope. In a world that typically focuses on what's wrong or missing, gratitude is a radical act of reclaiming power. It reminds us that peace and strength come not from external conditions, but from the way we choose to see and appreciate the world around us. 21. The power of vulnerability and courage. Vulnerability is typically misunderstood as weakness, a flaw to be hidden or avoided. However, it is in fact the foundation of true strength and courage. Being vulnerable means allowing yourself to be seen fully, your fears, doubts, imperfections, and emotions without masks or defenses. It is the courage to show up authentically even when the outcome is uncertain or the risk of failure is high. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it head-on. When we embrace vulnerability, we open ourselves to connection, growth, and transformation. It takes bravery to admit when we don't have all the answers, to ask for help or to risk rejection. Yet these moments of openness build resilience and deepen our relationships with ourselves and others. Psychological studies show that individuals who accept and express vulnerability tend to have higher emotional intelligence, greater empathy, and stronger interpersonal bonds. They are more adaptable and better equipped to cope with stress and adversity because they are honest with themselves about their limitations and needs. Historically, many great leaders, thinkers, and warriors have acknowledged the power of vulnerability. The ancient philosophy of Mitsuki, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, teaches that flaws and imperfections can become sources of beauty and strength. Similarly, great leaders have demonstrated that admitting mistakes and showing vulnerability fosters trust and inspires others. To cultivate vulnerability and courage, start by acknowledging your fears instead of suppressing them. Practice honest self-reflection about your weaknesses and limitations. Share your authentic self with trusted individuals, allowing space for support and understanding. Remember that vulnerability is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice of openness. Ultimately, embracing vulnerability is an act of empowerment. It breaks down walls of isolation and fear, allowing us to live more fully and courageously. The strongest minds and hearts are not those that hide their fragility, but those that own it and use it as a foundation to rise stronger. 22. Living with purpose and meaning. Living a life of purpose and meaning is one of the most profound sources of mental strength and fulfillment. Purpose provides direction and motivation and a sense of belonging that helps individuals navigate challenges and uncertainty with resilience. When your actions align with your core values and long-term goals, every effort, no matter how small, feels significant. Purpose is not about rigid plans or perfection. It is about clarity, knowing what truly matters to you and making choices that reflect that. It acts as a compass during turbulent times, helping you stay grounded when distractions or difficulties arise. People who live with purpose tend to experience higher life satisfaction, better mental health, and stronger relationships because their daily actions are intentional and meaningful. Psychological research shows that having a clear sense of purpose correlates with lower rates of depression, increased longevity, and improved coping skills. It fuels perseverance and transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anything." His life and work demonstrated how meaning can sustain individuals even in the darkest circumstances. To cultivate purpose, start by reflecting on your deepest values and passions. Ask yourself what legacy you want to leave and what impact you wish to make. Set goals that resonate with these ideals and revisit them regularly to keep your focus sharp. Remember that purpose can evolve. It is a living, breathing aspect of your life that grows with experience. Living with purpose is not only about personal gain. It connects you to something larger than yourself, whether community, family, nature, or a cause greater than your existence. This connection fosters a sense of belonging and responsibility, enriching your life with meaning beyond material success. Ultimately, living a purposeful life is a commitment to authenticity, courage, and continuous growth. It empowers you to move through life with intention, resilience, and joy, making each moment a meaningful step toward your true self. 23. The mind is the true center of power. The mind is the true command center of your life. Every decision, every action, and every belief starts here. It shapes your reality more profoundly than any external circumstance ever could. Understanding this is the foundation of true mental strength. When you realize that your thoughts, perceptions, and responses govern your experience, you gain access to an incredible power, the power to choose to control and to transform your life from the inside out. Throughout history, the greatest leaders, philosophers, and warriors have understood that external forces may be beyond control, but the mind's sovereignty is absolute. The Stoics taught that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but how we interpret them. Modern neuroscience confirms that our brain's plasticity allows us to rewire thought patterns and emotional responses, proving that mental strength is not fixed, but developed. This power within you is not given. It is earned through awareness, discipline, and practice. It requires commitment to observe your mind, to challenge limiting beliefs, and to cultivate habits that reinforce resilience and clarity. It means deciding to respond with calm instead of reacting with impulse, to persevere in the face of difficulty, and to align your actions with your deepest values and purpose. The mind can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. It can imprison you in fear, doubt, and confusion, or liberate you into freedom, confidence, and clarity. The difference lies in training and how intentionally you direct your mental energy. Every thought you nurture shapes your future, every belief you hold influences your behavior, and every moment of mindfulness strengthens your capacity to master yourself. True power is not in controlling others or external conditions. It lies in mastering your inner world, your mind, your emotions, and your choices. This mastery brings freedom, peace, and an unshakable foundation for success and happiness. It empowers you to face life's challenges with grace and courage, knowing that no matter what happens outside your center, remain steady. As you conclude this journey of cultivating mental strength, remember the power to transform your life lies within your mind. Guard it, train it, and trust in its ability to guide you through every storm. Your mind is not just a part of you, it is the source of your true power.